Why, hello and welcome to the PHP. I'm Booker. That's Perez. How you doing?
Hello. I am excited for I like to be honest. I'm not excited for today's show.
You sound beat
It's
already.
not, I'm not beat. I'm actually very well rested, but I'm very sick, like very sick. I'm a little. I don't think I have COVID.
I had the cold last week that was going around LA.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, I got it. I got it last Monday on the show. I was sick as well. I didn't say anything. You could hear it in my voice, but a lot of people are getting. It's just a cold that's going around LA. It's pretty rough.
But it feels like more than a cold. Like I really feel like lethargic, like shallow.
Maybe you have COVID. Are you having problems in your chest? You could.
I am having problems with my chest, but I still could taste food.
Well, I mean, that's not. It's not like everyone.
Anyways,
has COVID.
I don't want to spend too much time on this. The good news is that my kids at their school, they get tested twice a week for COVID. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine if I have it, they have it, and if they have it, I'm going to find out this week. Okay, so
yeah,
I feel awful, but I'm here and we're doing this and we have a lot to talk about, like Kim Kardashian doing Saturday Night Live and social media exploded. Mm-hmm. The Adele backlash has begun.
Okay.
Is it warranted? I ask. A juicy Olivia Rodrigo exclusive. Dave Chappelle's latest stand-up special has erupted in controversy and more. But while I'm sick, how are you?
I'm good. I had a very eventful weekend. I did a lot of stuff. Friday, I didn't do much, but Saturday, I had a friend's wedding in downtown Los Angeles. And also one of my best friends was in town from New York, so I had to meet him afterwards. So I was out late Saturday, up early yesterday for the Chargers game. And then we had pasta night yesterday. We made chicken parm, which is there's so many steps involved. And of course, we make everything from scratch, except for killing the chicken. Outside of that, we do it all. So it was just a long day. I just had a very, very full weekend.
Who makes the chicken parm? You?
Yeah. I mean, Kellen's dad and I kind of did the cooking this weekend. Sometimes we trade off. Sometimes Kellen's sister will get in and roll the pasta. I did that. I did the pasta. I did the sauce. He did the chicken parm. So.
How nice. So domestic. I should do that with my sister, but I don't know. Does your sister-in-law-ish, does she live nearby you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're always here. It's the same people at my house. It's Kellen's. Well, her doctor's sister is in town. So that's why we did chicken parm. She came down from up north and that's what she wanted. So that's what we made.
It's so funny. A couple of days ago, I was driving down La Cienega, and I don't know if you're by this area often, but there's always this one place that sells these cow skins.
Yes, it's close to Sunset. I know exactly what you're talking about, like a porch.
Maybe more than one place. This one is close to Olympic or Pico or something on La Cienega. Anyways, we're driving by it, and my kids noticed it, and my daughter said, "Oh, look at those. They gave the cow a haircut and it's the cow hairs." And I said, "Well, it's actually their skin. It's the cow skin." And she said, "Don't tell me that. I'm very sentimental." Anyways, you talking about chicken parmesan made me think of that, because if I explained to my daughter how chicken parmesan is made, because you mentioned killing the chicken. I don't know. That's literally where my brain went. Anyways, all right, let's get right to it. Kim Kardashian, you see, all right, first of all, there's only so many minutes in a day and in the weekend. Mm-hmm. I did want to try to watch the Dave Chappelle stand-up special, but I didn't have time for it. And I
watched it Friday night.
And I wasn't feeling great. But I did watch the entire episode of Kim Kardashian on Saturday Night Live. So I was happy I was able to watch that. Did you watch that? I'm going to guess no.
I did not. No.
There you go. So you didn't watch
one, you got the other.
All right. So I have to say I was very impressed because, acting isn't really her thing, or comedy isn't even really her thing either. And performing, like she did Dancing with the Stars forever ago and was pretty awful. Or one of the most memorable moments ever was when, you must remember this, Kim Kardashian was at the Prince concert and Prince invited her up on stage and she couldn't even move, so he kicked her off stage.
Yeah.
that was pretty epic.
That was pretty good.
But, like straight off the bat, when she came out with her opening monologue, it wasn't perfect. I think she was clearly nervous, so she almost raced through it. Like, she was really fast.
Yeah.
But it was still confident delivery, and she sold it, and the writing was amazing. Like,
yeah,
it was so funny, so good, skewered everybody. I was really proud and happy for her, and disappointed and I guess shocked, because Kim Kardashian has been in the public eye and super successful for 14 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yet so many people on social media with that same BS narrative. Why is Kim Kardashian hosting Saturday Night Live? There's so many more qualified and more talented people. And
valid point. I mean, it's a valid point. So
okay,
look, she's famous. All
right,
Elon Musk hosted, and everybody gave them shit for that too.
Well, exactly. They have a history of picking people who are not just actors or musicians.
Right.
There's nothing.
Debating her relevance is silly. She's relevant. Everyone knows who she is. Them getting her makes sense to me. But I get people's point. Like, I want to see someone that has some talent doing Saturday Night Live. But the thing with Saturday Night Live is no one watches anymore. I mean, Casey Musgrave was naked last week, and I didn't find out till Thursday that one of the hottest people on the planet was naked on SNL. I didn't know till Thursday. That's how relevant that show is. Like, it caught no traction. The ratings are absolutely in the toilet. I mean, that show's kind of over. But,
well, thankfully, ratings were up for the episode with Kim Kardashian, as opposed to the season premiere with Owen Wilson. So she was great. She made fun of everybody, even Kanye. And Kanye was there, although he did not appear on the show. Yeah. He was there supporting her. And according to reports, they were making eyes at each other and blah, 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 blah. It seems like they might, who knows, right? Like, this is what you say, who knows really what's going on? Yeah. They might.
Well, in that case, who cares? That one's like, I couldn't care less.
Well, a lot of people care about Kim and Kanye. I'm not
saying people don't care. I'm always endlessly fascinated by people that are fascinated by them. I don't get it. I've never got it. I don't begrudge it. If you want to go out and make $1 and knock yourself out, I just don't get it. And I think it's valid when people say, I don't get it. Like, why are we, why is this on SNL? But, don't watch. Like, I didn't watch. I went, oh, Kim Kardashian's hosting? Yeah, I got things to do. I didn't even bother watching.
It was great. The only other, controversy, which I could absolutely understand it, and I didn't quite get it at the moment because it's not a trauma that I've experienced. It's not something that I've gone through. But now that people have called it out, it makes sense. There were a lot throughout the show, more than once, of O.J. Simpson jokes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people that have survived domestic violence thought that was very, really disgusting and inappropriate and uncalled for and hurtful.
Well, people should get a sense of humor.
You literally just said that people that have been through domestic violence should get a sense of humor.
So I don't think she was mocking people that have been through domestic violence. She was making O.J. Simpson jokes. There's two separate things there. You can't just all of a sudden say, what? You can't make O.J. Simpson jokes because, he did kill somebody. It's like, no, you can make the joke. It has nothing to do with the actual act of.
And what about the family of that woman that died, Nicole Simpson?
What about her
it's family? More than it's more than jokes to her.
You can't. Well, then don't watch. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
All right, but you
people are gonna
literally
make jokes about things. You can make. Well, are you not allowed to make a joke about COVID? There's no COVID jokes allowed. People have died from COVID. Should we not make jokes about? I mean, there's this. It's just silly. It's called comedy. Comedy is usually finding the light in dark moments, and that is very much a part of comedy. And if people don't understand that, as I just said a moment ago, don't watch, turn off the TV, sit in a hole, naked and dark, and enjoy your loserish weekend. I mean, come on, people are out of control.
I understand what you're saying to a point, but I also have empathy for people that have been through domestic violence and said this was hurtful to me.
Then don't watch. Don't support it. There you go. What else do you want to say?
They didn't know ahead of time they were going to be making OJ jokes,
Move on. This is ridiculous.
Well, you're just a cold person.
I'm a sensible person. I'm not someone that's offended by every little thing that happens I don't take it offensive.
Well,
it's losers online that have a loser keyboard in front of them that have to go. I'm offended. You know what?
No, all right. Here we go.
Off is what I said. Life is hard.
A similar scenario. Let's say, I mean, I get it. It's comedy, but still. Unfortunately, we live in the United States of time. Unfortunately, we live in the United States of America, and there are a lot of school shootings. You're saying that it's absolutely fine for SNL to mock school shootings, or
first of all, you always do this. You take one situation that has absolutely nothing to do with another situation, and you completely take the context out. I don't know. Is the joke funny? If the joke's funny, then you can go ahead and use it on my watch, but that appeals to my comedic senses. I like dark stuff that people find the light in dark situations. That is my prerogative. That's the kind of things I watch. I don't want those things taken away from me. Now, if you're a fucking loser and you want to go on your keyboard and bitch to SNL or bitch to whomever, you can also do that too. I couldn't care less. Knock yourself out. I wouldn't call those people fucking losers.
Well,
that's you. That's the difference between you and me. Those people, at some point, look, life's hard. You got to get over it sometimes. You got to get over some shit sometimes. I mean, you can't sit there and go, wow, something that happened 25 years ago is still bothering me, and I'm going to go. I mean, if you want to go ahead. I just think it's ridiculous. Dave Chappelle, same thing. People bitching about Dave Chappelle that didn't even watch the episode, that take the context completely out of what he was trying to say and do. But, that's comedy. It's like art. It's just subjective. And sitting there, making a big deal about it just seems silly to me. It seems like a waste of time. Go live life. You're alive. Don't worry about something that happened not to you 25 years ago.
Well, I guess, I mean, then again, the same thing would be, all right, I'm going to move on, but let's say SNL, for whatever reason, had not a single Black cast member this coming season, and they made a joke about something that was meaningful to the Black experience.
I'm gonna give you the same answer.
If Black people said that's racist,
then that's their opinion. I don't care.
Are you going to call them losers too?
If they're on the keyboards and sitting, it's like the world is out of control with their 2 cents of an opinion. My point is, I don't care about their opinion. That's all that I'm saying. It's senseless to me. Like, if that's your opinion, cool. That's your opinion. I just think it's a waste of time.
All right. Well, that's your opinion, and they don't give a fuck about your opinion either.
They don't give exactly. Now you're getting it. And this into you, Perez. They don't give a fuck about you either, or your opinion, or if it's right or wrong.
Well, I don't care if they don't care about my opinion. Just
making sure you get that, because it's who cares? No one cares. No one cares about what anybody else thinks about anything.
All right. Well, in more Kardashian West news. This is not a joke, although it seems like one.
You're setting me up for a punchline.
Kanye West has now officially announced plans to open his own prep school, a K through 12 private school called Donda Academy. And I went and I checked out their website, and it's got very little information, but apparently it's starting. I don't even know when it's opening, but some kids, it might open already. It might be opening soon to just like his kids and some other people. But like all of these high school basketball players, 4 elite high school basketball players have all signed up to go to Donda Academy, which leads me to believe it's more than just getting a free ride. Kanye must be paying for their families to move out here and all of that. Is that legal?
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Live wherever you want to live. I mean,
no, but I mean, is it legal to be like
recruit?
But to recruit, to like give a free scholarship, I get that. But is it legal to like if Kanye paid for travel expenses and put them all up in like a free campus, the families as well? I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. It's just something that popped into my mind. It's not going to be just a private school with a focus on basketball. Weird focus. But it's also going to be a religious school as well.
Mm-hmm. See, you said this sounds shocking. I thought it sounded nice. I was like, thank God, finally, a rich person doing something with their money that's like.
But what makes Kanye West qualified to open up a prep school?
Well, I don't think Sir Kanye is going to be teaching the classes. I think he probably is just financing a school.
But unless it's structured in such a way that it has its own independent governing board.
I would imagine that it would. I mean, to be an accredited school, when it has to be an accredited school for someone to take, you know what I mean? To take your credits from your grade school, whatever, to transfer to a college, you have to be accredited. So that's what I mean. Like, I gotta think it's that.
I don't know. Or these kids may not even want to go to college. They might just want to go straight to the NBA that are applying. I don't freaking know.
Well, I didn't get this whole, like, it's just like a basketball intensive.
It's not just that, but it was these 4 kids.
You're saying 4 people have signed up and they just happen to be basketball players that are really good
from different parts of the country.
Different parts of the country. Huh.
That was part of the newsiness of it all. I don't know.
That's weird. That is weird, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I mean, who's that team going to play? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even make sense. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You're right. Overall, I think it's nice that if it is, you know, him putting money towards something, you got to look at his intentions and say, well, that's pretty nice. You know what I mean? You know, his homeless pods turned out to be a goof at the end, but it was a really nice idea. You know what I mean? Like, I like that his mind is working towards, hey, there's a problem. Let me try to fix it.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those homeless pods? I don't know.
They had zoning problems, and I think there's a lot of things involved when you put any structure anywhere. So, you know, red tape. That's what happened. Red tape.
And finally, it was really nice to see. I think of the Kardashian Jenners. Well, maybe not the Jenners. I think of the Kardashians as like people that I went to high school with decades ago that I'm not really friends with, but I'm sort of.
You're Facebook friends with them?
Maybe, like, I'm Facebook friends with them. And ultimately I am rooting for them. Like, you want to see these people do well. So that's how I feel about them. And I saw Rob Kardashian out with his sisters, or maybe not out, but it was dinner. It could have been at a restaurant. These women live in like these mega mansions where
their house looks like a restaurant.
Yeah, their house looks like a restaurant. So like they were outdoors. I'm like, it could be a restaurant or it could be one of their houses. But it was just nice to see Rob Kardashian in a photo and looking happy and healthy. So good on you, Rob. Very happy about that. All right, let's talk about Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Like I said, I did not watch the special, and you can provide context. I have quotes, and I will read verbatim what he said. Okay.
You know, you could take a quote out of anything. You could take a quote out
All
of
right,
the Bible and skewer it. Okay,
but,
man, come on, that's
all right,
ridiculous.
But if you read more than one sentence, if you read multiple sentences, then that's
you are confusing to me because you claim to be this freedom of speech pioneer, and then you take every little thing and you're like, well, I wouldn't do that, and this is wrong.
Let me
watch the whole thing.
Let me just read this.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
He was talking
the pot for no reason.
Not for no reason. This hurt a lot of people. And I think we should talk about it. You don't care if people are, it's more than just easily offended, right? It's people that have experienced truly awful things that are telling this is hurtful to me.
Okay.
Let me read what he said. So in his stand-up special on Netflix, Dave Chappelle, for whatever reason, was talking about trans issues. Mm-hmm. He's not trans. He doesn't have a trans child that I'm aware of, or he's not expressed any connection to the trans community.
Well, that's wrong already, but go ahead.
Oh, tell me. What's his connection to the trans community?
The special is about his trans friend.
Oh, his friend. Okay. All right.
A fellow comedian. And it's weird because to properly tell this story, I would kind of have to, it'd be like blowing the end of a movie. So that's kind of the decision we'd have to make here.
All right, blow it. Who cares? We're talking about it.
Well, there's people listening that might want to watch the special. All
right, fine. Then don't blow it. Let me read to you what he said.
Because the crux of it is a full circle. The whole thing becomes full circle, as Dave Chappelle often does.
All right. He has a trans friend. Okay. But when talking about trans issues, he said, they canceled J.K. Rowling. My God, I'm team TERF. I agree, man. Gender is a fact. Every human being in this room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. That is a fact. Now, I am not saying that to say trans women aren't women. I'm just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but it's beyond pussy or impossible pussy. It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is. That's not blood, that's beet juice.
Right.
Do you understand how? And also he
do you understand how that's a joke? Like you're tying Impossible Burgers and you're tying those two products together with pussy. I mean, that's the joke. That's the beet juice. That's how they make, those fake burgers look like real burgers. It's actually beet juice in there. Like he's making a joke.
All right. He took it a step further and he claimed that he made it even bigger than just trans people. He says that, and you like to be sensible. You'd like to be sensible. I'm going to blow your mind now. Okay. I'll read you what he made it a bigger thing, claiming that the gay community attacks Black people. He literally said, I'm telling you, it's done. I'm done talking about it. Mm-hmm. All I ask is of your community, with all humility, will you stop punching down on my people? Is he completely ignoring or forgetting that
first of all, you haven't watched this, because you've completely taken the whole thing out of context. He was criticized by someone in the trans community, and they wrote that to him. Okay. Now he turned that around at the end of the episode. And the whole point is, let's all just stop punching down on people, period. That's the point of the whole episode.
Okay.
Stop punching down on Black people. Stop punching down on people with an opinion.
Listen, wait, let me finish. Let me make my point.
Okay.
So many people in the LGBT community are Black. So he's just forgetting that or ignoring that or like
you're missing the point. That he's not pitting one set of people against another set of people.
How else do you interpret what he just said?
I watched it. I'm telling you how to. I just literally told you what the episode is about. He is tired of people punching down on people. He's like, look, I'm a minority. You're a minority. I've experienced all of the same things differently, but I have an experience as well with the color of my skin. Trust me, it comes full circle. If you want to be one of these alarmists that takes little quotes and completely pulls them out of context,
quotes. I read a bunch of quotes. I would say to
people, but I'm telling you, it comes full circle. It does.
It's not little quotes. I read a bunch of them.
First of all, I can't explain comedy to you. It's just a waste of time.
Oh yeah, you're a comedy expert.
Well, I would say I am, because I am a huge fan of comedians. I mean, the amount of time that I've wasted watching Eddie Murphy and watching George Carlin and
I'm a huge fan of comedians too, but comedy evolves.
The biggest special out in the world. You're not that big of a fan. That's like saying I'm a big fan of
Taylor
Swift. Have you heard a new album? No.
I'm not
makes no sense.
I'm not a huge Dave Chappelle fan.
Okay, well, he's probably, if not the greatest comedian to ever do it, he's easily in the top 5. Pryor, Murphy, Carlin, Rock, Chappelle. I mean, these guys are geniuses. I mean, the way that they craft their stand up. Bill Cosby. God, I hate to say he was one of the best, but God, he was good.
You can acknowledge this. I'm
saying you've taken everything out of context because you didn't watch the special. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay, I will say this. Going back to appealing to your sensibility. We as people evolve over the decades. In the 80s, Eddie Murphy made a bunch of gay jokes, which he now regrets, which he has since apologized for. I have a feeling the same thing might happen in 3 decades from now with these Dave Chappelle jokes.
Well, he pretty much addresses that in his special about some jokes that he had told and why it had upset the person in the first place. And they talk that through. So he does acknowledge that a bit in this special. He doesn't exactly apologize, but he was trying to explain his point of view. And maybe he wasn't as good enough as a comedian then to, articulate his point when he said those jokes. Once again, things taken out of context, you can make anything sound bad. You can make the Bible sound like a piece of shit artwork. Okay.
It's
a body. If you watch I think you should watch the whole thing, get to the end, then form an opinion. That's what I think. That's what I would tell everyone. And if you're still offended, you're still offended. It doesn't fucking matter. But there are comedians that are trying to offend. You get that, right? Like I
like some of those. Like I love watching those roasts. Yeah. Like when I sign up to watch a roast, you know exactly what you're going to get. Right. Like that's like gutter, like the worst of the worst. Like
Anthony Jeselnik or whatever the hell his name is. He is the king of saying the most inappropriate shit. He's of the young people right now. He's so insanely offensive that he just kills me. He's so funny with some of his stuff, but I like that kind of humor, but I know what it is. I don't take any of it literally.
All right. Well, let's segue from that to some music news. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my happy place because we're talking about Adele. Adele is back in a major way. And I love that Adele, like, literally does whatever she wants and can do whatever she wants because there's literally nothing she could do that will fuck up her album release. Like, she decided, for the hell of it, I'm going to go live on Instagram a week and a half before my single is supposed to come out, and I'm going to play 45 seconds of it. Like, maybe that would have been the advisable strategy 5 years ago, but people don't really do that anymore. That's not that common, and who cares? It was great, and I got to listen to it. The clip made the rounds, and I am obsessed with it. The song is called Easy on Me. And yes, bitches, it sounds like Adele doing what Adele does, but Adele doing what Adele does is special to me.
Yeah.
It's classic, it's timeless, and that's just one thing. I've read she also gave 2 interviews, one to British Vogue, one to American Vogue. There is at least one or a couple of up-tempo songs. So, we're going to get some variety. And I had this epiphany. One of the reasons that makes Adele so special, and I texted you this, she sings unlike anybody else. Mm-hmm. The way her brain processes words, like the first lyric of this new song, Easy on Me, river. Like most singers would sing river, the traditional river, but the way she sings river, it's like a whole other word. And like some of the other, like the way she enunciates vowels and the way she makes the ordinary feel special. Mm-hmm. And her music is so special to me. I don't know. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Did you hear that little 45 seconds?
Yeah, no, we were texting. Maybe you forgot, but yeah.
I did. I literally just said I texted you that.
Yeah. Well, you just asked if I heard. I was like, of course I did. We talked about it.
All right. Well, but you didn't really tell me anything.
Well, you just said she's classic. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, I think my response was, what's even better than her voice is her laugh. It's somehow, to me, it's so infectious that it's equal. I wouldn't say better. It's just equally as interesting because when she cackles, it's diabolical. And it's right. I don't know if it's the way she puts together words. I think you said something about maybe it's her accent or something that plays differently, but you're totally right. And it is a classic. It's just once in a lifetime. You get an Etta James, you get someone that has, an Aretha, a Whitney, someone that just has a cadence that they just open their mouth and you're like, oh, that's Adele, and it's Whitney. So special.
I love Celine Dion too. She's one of my favorite voices, but I really do think that Whitney Houston was the greatest vocalist of all time.
I agree. I think I agree.
Because get not even that, but sometimes I will fall down a Whitney hole and like just start watching Whitney Houston videos. And whereas Adele is very special in a different way, Whitney, I dare any of you watch 5 Whitney Houston live performances on YouTube. Mm-hmm. She never does the same song the same way. Like not even in a concert tour when artists are like in the routine of it all, they do the same songs every night. She from the same tour, she can do the same song totally different 2 nights in a row. It's like such a gift that she had.
Yeah.
Amazing. But there is some backlash for Adele. Like I said, Adele spoke to British Vogue and American Vogue, and in her interview with British Vogue, she revealed that she works out 3 times a day. And some people were really upset about that, saying that's promoting unrealistic expectations.
Once again, can I call those people losers too? I mean, get a life. That's her life. That's what she wants to do with it. Like I would call cares what you think.
Yeah, I would call those people losers just because.
At least we're getting somewhere.
Just because Adele's not telling anybody else to do what she's doing.
Right.
It's just what she's doing for herself and for the right reasons. And there were all of those first it was like all of those losers who were speculating that she had gastric bypass or some weight loss surgery. And I think I actually said on our podcast, I don't think that's true. You can, and I lost weight without having surgery.
Yeah.
And I speculated even that she was working out a lot. And now my speculation turned out to be true. She is working out a lot. Let me read to you exactly what she said. She said that she did not get in shape because of vanity. She said it was because of my anxiety. Working out, I would just feel better. It was never about losing weight. It was always about becoming strong and giving myself as much time every day without my phone. I got quite addicted to it. I work out 2 or 3 times a day. 3 times a day, I marvel, says the interviewer. Yeah, she replies matter-of-factly. So I do my weights in the morning, then I normally hike or I box in the afternoon, and then I go and do my cardio at night. I was basically unemployed when I was doing it, and I do it with trainers. It's not doable for a lot of people. So if I had her time and her money,
Right.
I would fucking work. I wouldn't work out 3 times a day, but I would work out twice a day.
Yeah.
Maybe I would work out 3 times a day.
Well, I mean, that doesn't even sound that strange. I mean, if you have a trainer, think about it. She's got these big, huge mansions. She has her schedule clear all day long if she's not writing or working in a studio and, the kids are in school and whatnot. What else are you supposed to do? And, do a little, half hour of weights in the morning. Hey, thanks for coming over. Take a hike in the afternoon. I do that every day with the damn dog. And at night, you jump on the treadmill before dinner for an hour or for a half hour, whatever.
She said she's doing boxing too. Yeah.
Cool.
So I would
wonder, like, if I had no work, would I get myself into crazy shape?
I would.
The answer's no.
I would.
I hate exercise. I hate it. I like walking and I like hiking, but like doing this, like, picking up some fucking dumb weights.
I like that.
I can work in the yard for 5 hours straight and dig a hole, and that's a fucking workout. But I don't know, standing in a gym and doing this is just so boring to me.
I've done it. I like it. I wish I cannot allow myself to spend that much money anymore on it. I don't have Adele money.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of musicians, I will caveat this by saying it is just speculation, but from a good source. And I'll say it's just one source. Okay. I have not heard this from multiple people, but apparently Olivia Rodrigo, who is the hottest thing in music right now, has a reputation for being difficult or a diva or whatever. But this is a very interesting decision of hers and her team. Maybe they think she doesn't need to do it, and she probably doesn't need to do it, but it's like one of those things in music, you do things you don't think you need to do because you should do them. And I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. Olivia Rodrigo gets played right now in Los Angeles more than any other artist. I get in my car, I hear her all the freaking time. Shockingly, she's not part of that Jingle Ball tour. She's not even doing a single Jingle Ball show. And I'm told that a lot of those people at iHeart, your company, are very upset about that.
Interesting.
Dua Lipa's doing it.
Yeah.
Lil Nas X is doing it. And some other really big stars are doing it. But Olivia Rodrigo is not even doing the LA show or the New York show. None.
Really?
Yeah.
That is shocking.
I mean, let me verify that, but I think that's what I was told. Olivia Rodrigo, Jingle Ball. Let's see. Yeah, she's not doing any of the
LA and New York is what you really would look at.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, yeah. So
while I'm thinking about it, the show I did with Coldplay airs, I believe, this Thursday night on the CW. I'm on it for probably 5 seconds, but I'm hosting it. So if that's something you'd want to watch, knock yourself out. I'll be there.
Wait, you interviewed them or no?
I interviewed them and, it was at the iHeartRadio Theater in Los Angeles. Like, hey, it's Coldplay. And we co-interview. I have someone else hosting with me, someone from Seacrest show. And it airs Thursday. So there you go.
Great plug. Speaking of plugs, if you guys want the best CBD gummy out there, you should go to mytrue10.com. I purposely did not do it earlier today. mytrue10.com for the best CBD gummies.
I'm not making any money from my CW show. I just thought I'd share. No.
What? You didn't get paid extra for that?
I didn't.
You should.
All of those shows I do for iHeart, I don't think I make any money for anywhere. Yeah, it's part of my global iHeart deal.
Is that in your contract that you have to do all these extra gigs without pay?
I think that's probably a question for my agent, and I think it's one of those things. Sometimes when you start a new job, you do a lot of things, and the next contract you say, "Hey, remember all those free things we did?" Yeah. Well, let's it's one of those things.
I don't think Seacrest is doing a ton of those things for free.
Well, I bet she actually is, because I'm sure he has a global deal. He just re-signed with iHeart.
I read that.
3 years or something. So yeah, I'm sure he has to, and included in that is host such and such show. My contract probably says the same thing. It just has about 10 less zeros on it.
All right. And more music news. This is totally silly, but I love it because I'm pretty sure she knew she was going to get this reaction. And it reminded me of that stupid Showergate thing with all those celebrities not showering and their kids not showering. But it's real. I don't think she made this up.
Okay.
Meghan Trainor reveals that in her bathroom, she and her husband have 2 toilets so that they can both go to the bathroom together.
I think that one's probably a bidet and the other one's a toilet. Rich people always have that. Like, I've been to so many rich people's bathrooms.
No, like a toilet. There are 2 toilets. She specified.
They're just 2. Well, I mean, a bidet is still a toilet.
You cannot go pee in a bidet.
You can't?
Can you? No.
Or is the bidet just sprays the water?
It just sprays the water. Yeah. I don't think you can pee in a bidet.
Well, and also a lot of rich, I don't know. It's got to drain somewhere. So I don't see why you couldn't, right?
My mom loves a bidet.
Yeah.
She has one.
Well, now they make those toilets that squirt right up your butt. So maybe they have a couple of those. Or maybe he's got a urinal. Rich people sometimes have urinals too. I'm always blown away by that when I walk into a rich person's bathroom. Usually it's just like the guy's room. You walk in, you're like, holy shit, you got a fucking urinal. That's cool. I get to pee standing up against the wall.
Anyways, would you get that? Just 2 toilets. Would you have 2 toilets in your bathroom if you could afford it?
I don't think so. See, I'm not one of those people that pees in front of other people or anything like that. Like, I don't like to fart in front of other people. I'm not.
You get pee shy?
I'm not pee shy. Like, I think I could do it, but it's just not. You know what it is? It's kind of like when you get to that level in a relationship, I just think there's something to keeping some things private, because then it's like you've surrendered the romance when you do all of these things in front of the other person. Some people would say it makes you closer.
I mean, you're married. She's married. Yeah, they have a child together.
I know. And I guess, you've shared the ultimate share there, but I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just not sexy. That's all.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she did want to clarify that she has not pooped
number 2. Yeah. So
too many times, just a couple of times.
She's pooped in front of him.
Once, she said, actually.
I would never go into a room where I hate going into a public bathroom and go to the airport and someone's pooping in a stall. I hate it. All that poop fleck in the air. No, thanks.
Anyways, on to more music news. R. Kelly, recently convicted on all these charges, now is trying to shave some years off his sentence. So according to reports, he is going to be cooperating with authorities to reveal other Hollywood pedophiles. All right. Yeah. Good luck to him. Also, YouTube has terminated R. Kelly's YouTube accounts. Do you think other social media platforms should follow suit?
I don't
like. Should it be banned from Facebook as well?
Yeah, I think that's the decision of each platform's company. But if it was my company, if he's a known pedophile, yeah, he'd be coming down. It's weird, though, when you get into the question of should the music come down off of streaming platforms? And that's where I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, it's a little different to me somehow. Your words versus your music. I don't know. But it's weird. Like, I love Ignition. Like, I know every time Ignition would come on, I'd be like, I love this jam. But I don't think like, oh, I love this jam. Oh, it's R. Kelly. I just think, oh, I love this jam. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a weird to each his own kind of thing to me, I guess. But
I
wouldn't be pissed if they did, and I wouldn't care if they didn't.
I actually don't agree with that decision of them kicking him off.
Interesting. Why not?
Because I am very logical. I think I'm very sensible about this.
You're not, but go ahead.
I think he should only be kicked off the platform if he did something egregious on the platform. If he did something harmful on the platform. I don't know if you should be punishing people for things they did off of YouTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and I totally hear that opinion and actually respect it, but I just have a bit of a problem with anybody that fucking hurts a kid in any way.
Well, I mean, I do too, but
yeah, but that's what I mean. But
I also am a big advocate of not censoring people
to an extent. When it becomes hurtful, then I'm not again. Like I said, if they do, good for them. If they don't, I'm not going to raise hell. I'm not going to lose any sleep because I don't follow fucking R. Kelly.
Well, I don't follow him either, and a lot of people do though. Mm-hmm. Anyways, more music news. Moving on to TV news. I feel so awful. And I slept like 9 hours last night. Anyways,
good. It took me it was a 3 or 4 dayer for me. I was not feeling well.
Did you go into work still?
Yeah, of course. I don't work with anybody though. I go into an empty studio every day.
I probably I feel so bad. I wouldn't even go to work if I had an office.
Really?
Anyways,
I don't believe in sick days though. That's a flaw of mine because you should, if you're sick, you probably shouldn't go into work and spread it around, but I don't work with anybody. I work in a room by myself.
I don't usually believe in sick days either, but I just am so I don't even want to get out of my bed. Thankfully, we record our podcast. I record in my bed. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Nicki Minaj has taken an interesting career detour. It was just announced that she is going to be co-hosting or hosting by herself. I need clarification. The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion on Bravo.
I mean, casting.
Yeah.
Right? Why?
I don't even know. Is that
you looking to get in the hosting game?
And that show that show gets the least amount of buzz, I think, right?
I'd never heard of it. I didn't know there was a Potomac version of the Real Housewives. Is that like Delaware?
It's right by DC.
Okay.
Maryland's
there. Yeah.
Potomac, Maryland.
I feel like the Potomac runs
I think it's DC.
North-south, right? And it's Delaware down through Maryland through DC. I don't know.
It's Maryland, I think. I don't freaking know. Anyways, that was just an interesting choice. Some Katie Couric craziness. Katie Couric is coming out with this memoir and has been raising a lot of eyebrows and causing a lot of headlines to be written, which ultimately is the best thing ever if you're releasing a memoir. A lot of folks have been sharing their truths and their stories about what happened, from a former nanny who claims that Katie's lying in her upcoming memoir, to Ashley Banfield, this former NBC News journalist that apparently there was a big rivalry between her and Katie Couric. And Katie Couric's, I kind of really love the honesty though. Mm-hmm. When Katie Couric was talking about mentoring people in the workplace, she basically said she doesn't believe in mentoring other women in the workplace because then you're basically setting up your replacement. Something like that. I'm
that's funny.
There's a bit of a truth to that though, in some element. I don't know, but then if you're really secure, then you don't really need to worry about that.
See, I'm the opposite. I believe in sharing every little thing I've learned along the way. If you ask, I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to try to help you out. I think I think in the long run that helps the most, you know.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Plus, also, like, nobody can replace me. I'm irreplaceable. She also revealed that after Matt Lauer was fired for all of his inappropriateness, that she texted him supporting him. She could have kept that to herself, but she shared that. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good look, because he's been accused of really awful things by multiple women.
Yeah. Well, your friends are your friends. You know, you got to stick by your friends.
Even if your friends have been accused of the most awful things.
Accusations are just accusations. It doesn't, you know, send it to court and let's figure it out. People can say whatever they want to say, you know.
All right.
She was there. She had a front row seat. She knows what happened.
And then she did nothing. In other news, Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen are still battling it out over their kids, even though their kids are 16 and 18. You know, Charlie was fighting Denise over basically, Charlie Sheen is close to broke after squandering tens of millions of dollars.
It's got to still be coming in, though, you know?
Yeah, but why is he being such a D-bag? Like, he took Denise Richards to court to get rid of child support, even though one of their kids is still only 16 years old.
Did she remarry?
Yes.
Then she has money and...
Okay, but that's not spousal support. I'm talking about child support.
Oh, child support. Yeah, he should be paying that till 18. But was he just trying to get like one of the kids removed from it? Or I don't know how that works. I'll just say I have no idea how that works.
From what I read, according to court documents obtained by People, he now is paying nothing in child support per this new ruling. So that's just wild.
Interesting.
And that's that, actually. Let's take some calls.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Perez and Booker. Booker, I agree with you most of the time. And so far with the whole Britney thing, I have mostly agreed with you.
But
and Carol, I've really thought about it, and I just don't get how people aren't seeing this. Britney and the conservatorship. If she was a man, do you think she would have been put in a conservatorship? No. I honestly...
I got to stop you right there. I mean... Once again, that's just speculation. What did this man do? Did the man do the exact same thing? Then he probably would have been. I don't think that someone just said, because you're a woman. I think this is a very case. And I think something, it's funny. K-Fed said something this week. He had a little quote that was very telling about, I hope that the kids stay. I just hope everyone stays safe. Which to me, a little ding went off. And it's maybe it's a tell, maybe it's nothing. I don't know. But I think one of the reasons that this whole thing went down is because there were young kids involved and there were probably more than one safety issues. And I think he put that word out there on purpose.
Her kids are now 15 and 16.
Yeah. And it could be a completely different, you know, things can change. They grow up and they can handle themselves in situations they couldn't when they were children. And by the way, I'm not saying she should be in this thing or not. I'm just saying, I don't know, because I have no idea what the details are. So to sit there and say, you know, a man would be treated differently, or I don't know if I necessarily am buying that, because I don't know the facts.
I agree with her though.
Yeah. Let me get another call here.
Vanessa from Colorado calling again. Just wanted to ask Perez why he didn't tag Kim Kardashian in his recent Instagram post. He tagged everyone else. Why not Kim? Bye, Booker.
That's so funny. Yes, I shared a Throwback Thursday post with Kim Kardashian, and I didn't tag her because I couldn't. She doesn't have me blocked, but it's a functionality. If you don't want to be tagged in photos, you can turn that off. So she does not allow herself to be tagged in photos.
Really? I didn't even know that was a thing.
You could test that out, caller, for yourself. Next time you upload a photo, try to tag Kim Kardashian and you won't be able to.
Huh.
So I wasn't snubbing or dissing her in any way.
Interesting.
Like I said at the beginning of our podcast, I view her like this person I went to high school with, fond memories, and I wish her well.
There you go. All right. She was very bitchy about it, though.
Hey guys.
I love a good conspiracy theory, though.
Yeah, true. I feel you there. All right.
Actually, I don't. I'm not really a conspiracy theory person.
Hey guys, this is Kelly from Chicago, and I love your show, and I just wanted to comment on today's show about what Booker said about the Kardashians selling crappy items. I usually agree with Booker, but in this case, I'm going to have to disagree, and I hate to admit it, but skims that belong to Kim Kardashian are probably the best thing since feta cheese. Also, my daughter has tried Kylie Cosmetics, and I wasn't a big fan of just, following the herd and just purchasing from these
But you did it anyways.
social media stars and self-made entrepreneurs, but
We lost her. No, I think I'm going off of things that honestly, I don't follow them and I don't know, but Perez has reported things like the tummy teas, and I'm blanking at all of the crap that you have told me that they push out there, and you've called it crap yourself. So and maybe I'm guilty there because I don't follow, and maybe I am making an assumption, but I'm actually just taking it kind of for Perez's word. If he says that the stuff is crap, sometimes I
was only talking about the swimwear. I don't really know about the other stuff, but a lot of people think they are crap as well.
Okay, and like the tummy teas, and you've called a lot of this shit bullshit too. So I don't know. Once again, I'll just say what I said. I don't look at their brand and associate it with quality. I don't. There's no K in quality.
I just wanted to call in and say something about the Britney Spears situation. The case is something that I've talked a lot to my friends about, and I've actually talked to a couple of my therapist friends about as well, who work in psychiatry and psychology. I think it's something that we need to acknowledge, the fact that there is a reason why she was put under this conservatorship, regardless of how long ago it was. There is a reason why it had lasted this long, and there is a reason why the judge has constantly turned down her requests. There's a reason why things are in place.
Okay, I mean, I kind of feel like that's what we've said all along. That's what I've said all along. There definitely is there's something behind all of this. We don't know what it is, and I think we've said that a million times.
Hey guys, it's Laura in Nashville. I'm listening to the recent podcast, and I had to take a break to make this phone call because Booker, you're so full of shit. I cannot believe that you think it's fine to call anyone who basically disagrees with you. That's how you do it. Like anyone.
I think we aired this, didn't we? I think we aired this. All right, I'll cut that out. We did. All right, let's wrap it up. What do you say? We've been talking long enough. You need to go get some sleep. You need some health.
I don't know how to get that, but
it'll pass in a couple of days.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. If you want to call us, 800-721-1185. Share our show with your friends and family and coworkers and neighbors if you can. That would be greatly appreciated. And we will see you all next week.
Take care, everybody. You too.